Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Happy Thursday.
Happy
Welcome to the
Thursday.
podcast. I have the cool mom mug that I got
Mm-hmm.
from you. I love gold handles. There's just something fantastic about them, isn't there?
There is. And what
I
does it say
know.
on the inside?
It says, I can't remember. That's all. One
Oh, yeah,
sec.
that's all.
Mhm. I had to look. That's all. But I coffee, decaf, black coffee, iced tea. What are you drinking today?
Well, I got water and then I saw the big circular ice cubes that Paul got me for Christmas.
Oh,
And so I thought I would drink out of my little Cuban cup. What does it say?
so pretty.
I don't know. It says Cuban something on it, but you can't see it because, but there's
Yeah.
caramel, salted caramel whiskey.
Mm, yum.
And it's nice and watered down because we've been
Yeah.
talking for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Lovely. So
Yes.
tell me about this map of yours. I'm
Oh
excited to
my
hear about
gosh.
it. I know.
So we got the map. I got one for us, and
Yeah.
then I got one for my nephew for Christmas.
So this is like your world map. This is like
It is a
Lee Kubin
3D,
brand. It is, yes, it's so
3D
pretty.
wooden map. And the company
Of
is
the
called
world.
enjoythewood.com. It is the most, they're pieces of art. And so
Yeah.
it's almost like putting a puzzle together because we got ours and Riley's labeled. The first two we did were not labeled.
Mm.
Took us much longer, but these were labeled so that the putting it together is much simpler. You still have to look at the map and figure out where it needs to go and move it around before you stick it down.
You know what I didn't realize? Because when you'd sent me pictures of your previous maps,
Mm-hmm.
what I didn't realize is that it is really 3D. Like some of them stick up. Some
Yeah.
of the countries stick up more than the other ones, like so that it gives this like beautiful dimension to the board. Whereas
Yes.
when you'd sent me pictures before, I didn't notice that. So it just looked to me like they were wooden pieces, but all of the countries were flat, and then
No.
the water was, the background. But it is stunning.
Yes.
It
And
is stunning. We should put the link in the show notes.
I'll put a picture for sure,
Yeah.
and then I'll tag them in it. We had decided we were putting it in our journey area, in our
Mhm.
which is where our pool table is. So I got out my book,
Mhm.
and this is what sealed the deal. The journey area is about it's the new beginning point of each new journey, decision, or life cycle. And it is from the realm of infinite possibilities that new beginnings open up.
Mhm.
This sector is often referred to as the career sector, but this is a limited English translation. A closer translation would be life path, since it refers
Mhm.
more to the alignment of the soul with a particular life journey than it does a chosen profession. And when I
Mhm.
read that, Paul said, I just got goosebumps. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, that's where it's going.
Mhm.
And it just feels perfect in there. It even my journaling is different. The
Mhm.
things that I'm noticing nudges about, and I'm having impulses to do, and then I'm having amazing reactions, and like not only from myself, but from clients. I'm in that mode of listening. And
Mhm.
it's a reminder to me to pay attention.
And this is what I think is just so spectacular about feng shui,
Mhm.
because when we put something in our space for a specific purpose, we don't even need to consciously think about it every time, but it's speaking to our subconscious mind, and it just helps us stay in this like realm of possibility. It
Yes.
helps us get into the like, what if it all worked out? What if it went perfectly?
What if it went better
What
than we could
else
have
is
ever asked
possible?
for?
Right. It was like it shifts us away from what was or what is that's shitty, and like really helps us move
Mhm.
into what else is possible.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's speaking to our subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind controls what 80 to 90% of our actions.
Mhm.
So we should be having these reminders in our space that speak to our subconscious.
Well, and it's sort of it goes back to the 4 agreements, because
Yeah.
when I placed it there, I made an agreement.
Yes. Very much so.
And then I make decisions. So now my brain is going, "Oh, there's unlimited possibilities. What do you
Mhm.
want?"
Yeah.
And I'm seeing things that I didn't see before because
Totally.
of this agreement. And that's and on the flip side, if I thought there was something terribly wrong,
Mhm.
I would be seeing more things that were.
Yeah.
It feels good, it feels exciting, and it feels like something new is opening
Mhm.
up. Yeah.
Did I tell you just after we took all of our Christmas decor down, we have this beautiful new mantle, is custom designed for us in the way that we want it. And I had this beautiful new mantle. It was above our beautiful new fireplace with our
Mm,
beautiful new stone background that's like white and kind of sparkly. Like it's got little like rough edge to the tile, but
mhm,
it's got some sparkle to it. So, I mean, how awesome for my fame and reputation area.
for sure.
And then our TV is above. So we sat there and I was like, I don't know what to put there. And I happened to have my Courage to Change book. Did I tell you the story already?
No.
Okay. So I come from a family where my dad was with AA, my mom was with Al-Anon, and even though I didn't attend Alateen because I did not want to, and I never attended Al-Anon, my mom one time gave me the Al-Anon book, The Courage to Change, and I live by that serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And so, courage to change for me has been, even if I never read the book, even if I never open up the book to the date,
Yeah.
today is January 24th, see what the courage to change tells me. Even
Oh,
if
is
I
it a
never
day by
open up,
day thing?
it's day by day. So
How
there's a
cool is
lot
that?
of it is super cool. And I'm telling you, my very favorite day is October 21st. It is not your job to stop the addict from drinking. And what's wild is that I always thought that it was. It allowed me so much relief. Like, and it's just such a small little thing. One sentence in there went, whoa,
Yeah.
like full chills. Wow. And I will never forget the date. So anyway, but some days I need it and some days I don't, and some
Yeah.
days I look at it and it just like helps me level up. A lot of it is things that I would teach anyway in my courses, or like
Sure.
it's not anything that is extraordinary, that is mind-blowing, that I haven't ever heard before, but that I heard differently. And I mean, I would teach that,
Absolutely.
but I
And
heard it
and take
different.
out addict and put in anything.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. And that's what I love about the book, because it doesn't have to be um specific to addiction.
Yeah.
You can just change it. Anyway, so I love this book, and it was like this, the book itself is very small, hardcover, and it's got like all of these different colors of orange. Now, I'm not a big orange fan, but it's got like all of these different colors of orange, and then it has like some gray in it. And this is not the color like palette of my house, but I thought, oh, maybe I'll just put this book up here on this ledge, which is a weird spot. It's a weird spot, maybe. So I put the book up on the ledge, and then I thought, well, that doesn't really look right. Oh, wait a minute. I just bought a Malagano jasper crystal. It was the exact color palette of the book.
Isn't that interesting?
I put the Malagano jasper on top of the book. Now, the Malagano jasper is about being brave, releasing what no longer serves you, taking chances, moving forward, and letting go everything and everyone that does not help propel you forward. It is literally the courage to change. Like, I mean, full chills. What the
Yeah.
actual hell? It was just so magical and divinely led.
Yes.
And so I put it up there, and I've got it on my mantle. It looks absolutely beautiful. And then all of a sudden, as I stood back, I went, oh my gosh, that's what I do for women.
Mm-hmm.
I help them have the courage to change.
Yeah.
I help them like step into their strengths, step into their power, like empower them, embrace everything about them. And it was like, since I did that, I have the most powerful women coming to me saying,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah. And it's the best feeling
It is.
when they do. And
I
I
know.
work with I work with men and women,
Mhm,
and it's equally as cool.
mhm.
But you have those that are there for it all.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where
And
the magic is.
vulnerable
Yeah.
and willing to drop all their crap and willing to be as honest, brutally honest, so that they can up level.
Yeah. Yeah.
How freaking fun is this that we get to do this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just to see it
Mhm.
unfold. And I know you know this to be true as well. It helps us
Oh, yeah.
because when I see someone in their bullshit,
Mhm.
I can always look at me, and it might be a different scenario,
Mhm.
but it's the same energetic thing that I'm like,
Yes.
oh, that's something you could let go.
Yeah. Where am I doing this to?
Yeah.
Where in my life
Yep.
am I doing this to?
Yep. And
All.
just seeing them work through it and let it go
Mhm.
is like, get on it. You don't need to carry that shit around either.
I know. It's so powerful. This week I had a coaching call, and I spoke with this woman. I love her so much. I spoke with this woman. She has had she built her business from the ground up, her company from the ground up. It's 85 employees, and she's been doing this for 30 years and is very much a part of her identity. And we know how that shift is hard to let go of. And a few years ago, she had come to me. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to sell my company. And we feng shui my space to sell it. I said, yep, I
Matter of
love
fact.
feng shuiing for
Mm-hmm.
sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tangible. I just love it. So anyway, we did that, and she got an offer for $19 million for her company. And we did not work on the identity shift. We didn't use her space for the identity shift, which I would do now. But anyway, so she had gone through, she got this great offer and she decided to turn it down because she just felt like she wasn't ready.
Mhm.
So fast forward 4 years later, she comes to me and she says, I'm ready now. I have left everything in my space, the places that you told me to. Do I just leave it there? Like, how do I get, like, how do I sell it? And I said, no, we're going to shift the energy. We're going to up level the energy. We're going to do a few more tweaks, do a few more things. And it's not going to take too much. It's not like she lives in a beautiful mansion and it's like never cluttered. It's always like beautifully manicured, but we're going to change just a few things. So we worked on fame and reputation. We worked on wealth. We worked on journey. We worked on helpful people. I had this vision of a jersey and I thought it had a 42 on it. I did not know what her first offer was. I didn't know the numbers. So to me, it could have been, her business could have been worth $100,000 or $100 million. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But I had this vision of a jersey that had the number 42 on it. And so I said to her, is it possible that you could sell your business for $42 million? And she's like, oh, that would be nice, but probably not. And I said, okay, well, I am dyslexic. So let's go with the numbers 2 and 4. Like, let's play with those. So if it's not 42, maybe 24, but do you have a jersey? I have a jersey with the number 24 on it. So we placed this jersey up on her mantle, number 24 jersey up on her mantle. The offer came in way higher than she thought it was going to be. The first offer came in at 23 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Way more
Yeah.
than her first offer in
Sure.
2019. But she said, well, but Sandra said 24. I've got this 24, this jersey 24 sitting there. So I'm going to say no to this offer. And what happened was when she said no to the 23 and a half, the offer came in at 25 and a half. So $6.5 million more than in 2019.
$25.5 million.
Right. Isn't that incredible? And so now we're working on, okay, so now how can we shift the identity? Because this is a scary fucking process, right? Like, now what? This is who she has been for 30 years. This is what she's done. This is who she is. She is this business.
Yeah.
And so now we're working on shifting the identity of like, what can she do that's bigger? What can she do that fills her cup? So she has talked about a number of different options, and one of which purchasing a plane, actually, in order to rent out this plane, because she knows a number of people that need a private plane, blah, blah, at moment's notice. And so she was thinking about doing this. And I said, okay, so let's talk about what we need, what you need to feel fulfilled, because I want you to do something not just makes you money, but makes you feel like a fucking rock star. So there's 6 basic, drivers, like 6 basic needs or drivers. Okay. And so they are certainty. Some people need certainty. She does not. She takes risks. There's uncertainty and variety, significance, connection and love, growth, and contribution. I've done this before. When I left the government, my 2 that stood out were significance and contribution. I had to be significant to something. And she said that significance was her thing. And I said, okay, so if you think about creating this business, where's the significance? She's like, there isn't any. It's maybe a smart decision. And I said, and it could be one of the things that you do.
Sure. Well, she's got some millions to play with, so.
She's got a lot to play with. I said, since significance is so huge, let's find something that you could do that would fill that void. And so that's what we've been doing. And that's what we're going to use use her space for, but create this next step for her
Yeah.
that
And
fills that up.
to watch her come
Mhm.
into that, you're going to watch her evolve in front of you.
Right?
Like that
And
is
so
going to
many
be,
times, yeah, I know. So many times, it's like, oh,
yeah.
well, she has all the money. Well, she doesn't just want to have the money and sit there and eat a
No,
sandwich.
no,
Like,
no.
since significance is her main driver, she needs something that will fill that.
Yeah.
And if
Because
it doesn't,
money doesn't really feel, I mean, money's great, but it
yeah.
doesn't feel that.
Well, and I mean, let's say your driver is connection and love,
Mm-hmm.
and then you decide that you're going to, I don't know, purchase real estate and rent it out. Like, where's the connection and love in
Right.
that? You're going to have to do something where you have that one-on-one
Yes.
conversation, or get yourself involved in something where you can feel that connection to other
Mm-hmm.
people, whether,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's like going to Rotary, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to find either a business or something to do, or something in your life, or hobbies or friends. You're going to have to, otherwise you're going to feel unfulfilled
Uh-huh. And be miserable.
and be miserable. And that's never the goal.
Ever, ever the
I
goal.
know. So it was like, it was the coolest conversation. I mean, imagine you're at this space where you have the money to create whatever you want, but also you have the belief that you can do it.
But here's the thing. We all can have that right now without the
Mhm.
$25.5 million. But we think,
Yes.
well, I need that
Mhm.
before I can have that. And it's the daydream.
Yeah. She
What,
built it herself, you
oh,
know.
right. But what I'm saying is we can all, starting today, look and say, what do I want? We don't
For
have
sure.
to wait for that money to show up.
Yeah.
But we cut ourselves off
Mhm.
so many times because everything's conditional. Well, I can't do this until this, and I can't do this until this, instead of just daydream about it. What feels good?
Exactly.
Where do you see yourself?
Exactly.
I was
Mhm.
talking to Logan earlier this week, and he was telling me that Arizona was on his list of places to be stationed.
Okay.
And I'm like, where in Arizona? He said, I don't know. I'm like, well, it's the desert
Yeah.
and it's the Navy. So there can't be many places that the
Right.
Navy would be in the desert.
Right. Right.
So I Googled it and it looks like I think it's Tucson. Well, what does Leigh do? But she goes and starts looking for houses.
Mm.
And I found the most beautiful, beautiful space with the most spectacular view. Like, I love that house. I have fallen in love with that house. So I'm showing Lily and, telling her what I want to do. And, it's got a gate coming into it. I mean, it's breathtaking. But Paul's like, honey, you don't know that Logan's going to be there. And even if he is, it might just be a couple of years and then he's going to move again. And then we're going to have this big old house. And he's like trying to tell me all of the reasons. And I was like, just let me daydream. I'm not
Mhm.
buying a house, but this feels good. Do I see myself actually moving there? I would love to, but I don't know. I don't know what the town's like. I don't know what the people are like. I don't know what the shopping's like. I don't, there's too many unknowns. But just looking at that house just lit me up. And we do that to ourselves so many times by getting lit up by something. And instead of just feeling the goodness of it, you can't have that because of this and this and this and this. And you just shit all over it
Yeah.
and give up the dream.
When, if you listen to Abraham Hicks, the goal is to feel good.
That's it. Yeah.
So who gives a shit what you do to feel good?
Yeah.
The goal is always to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And just a little bit today, I was talking about Abraham Hicks' emotional guidance scale. Have you
Oh, yeah.
heard, listened to? Yeah. And, I was thinking about that, how, and I was talking about it, how we can, it's really hard to go from fear to joy. Joy being the one that we want to, like, the top of the emotional guidance scale.
Yeah.
Joy. But it's really hard to go from fear to joy. All we really need to
In
do
one step.
in one step,
Mm-hmm.
all we really need to do is go to a little bit better than fear.
Yeah.
A little bit better than, like, and I was saying, like, man, fear is at the bottom, but revenge is like 6 up. I can quickly go from fear to revenge.
And they talk about that, like when your friend gets into revenge, everybody's
Mhm.
afraid and like, oh, you need to go back into depression. Like, we liked you
Right.
better in depression, but you
Revenge
don't
is up the scale.
but you don't want to stay in revenge either. But you just
No.
keep moving up,
Mhm.
and you just get better and better. But it is hard to go from fear to pure joy in one you can't.
Yeah.
And we
But
hold ourselves to this standard of I should always be up here. Well,
Mhm.
that's the goal, but if you're down here, just move up, take a step,
Reach for the better
full step.
feeling thought.
Right.
Yeah. And if daydreaming
Mm.
and planning and being in this energy of what if makes you feel good and gets you up that emotional guidance
Yeah.
scale,
Yeah.
that's the goal. That's where the magic is. We want to manifest more magic and less crappy stuff. you know
Yes.
like, if you get out of, just like it says on The Secret, right? You get out of bed and you stub your toe. Well, the goal isn't to focus on your toe and focus on how pissed off you are and then get worse and worse and worse and worse. The goal is to, like, increase from where you are.
But
Now,
once you have the awareness,
a little bit higher.
once you have the awareness that when you get out of bed and you stub your toe, and then you're pissed off, and then something else happens, and you see the day unfold that way, then you get out of bed and you stub your toe and you go, well, that hurt, but I am fine and I'm not ruining my day. This is not worth it. And it's
Exactly.
really easy to set it aside. But when you
Yeah.
don't know that's what you're doing, it just feels
Yes.
like the world's out to get you.
It's always about awareness,
Yeah.
right? It's always about just being aware and focusing on evolution, focusing on, like, growing and making conscious choices
What do you
about what
want?
we think, how we feel,
Yeah.
what we say, how we act. And too often we are focusing in, or we're not focusing, we're living on autopilot.
Right.
It's easy to do, and we're just like walking around trauma responses.
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know, walking around with our safety goggles on because we're waiting for something to
Something's
happen.
coming.
Something's coming. Put your hazmat suit and your safety goggles on. But
But
if
maybe
we
it's
can
something
get out of
good.
that, yeah, we
Mhm.
can get out of that and focus on, like, just
What
the
we
better
want.
feeling thought.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. One of
Dream about
the,
a house in Arizona.
but that house could be anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I know what it looks like, I could have it built
Yeah, you could.
on some land with a big guitar pool in the backyard for Paul.
Oh, see, now he's all in on it.
Oh, and on
Right.
that note, we're out of time.
We are. This was
And
fun.
this was fun. Thank you so much. And thank you
Yeah.
guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour.
Bye.